My name's Dr. Anthony Basham. I'm the president of the SCTE, and we look after, being deadly honest, we look after communications engineers. So we're trying to make communication engineers better. That's what we were set in the world to do, and we've been doing that for the last 79 years. Well, one of the really emerging ones is the thought of AI, or the threat of AI. This is a big one for all of us, let's face it. AI, in my eyes, is just another tool in the toolbox, and it depends how you use it. I mean, nobody uses a hammer anymore for the screws, but this is the same with AI. How are we going to use it? Everybody's citing this is going to take over everything from us. We're going to lose jobs. It's going to make it bad for everyone. But let's take it the other way around. How can it help us? So in another sort of thing I was speaking about, it's like penicillin. If you use penicillin too much, it goes wrong. If you use AI too much, it goes wrong. If we can get this down to a nice level, it can actually complement us in this and make the world a better place, maybe, hopefully anyway. It's another tool in the toolbox. This is one of the threats as well. Everybody's frightened about AI and how it's going to take over. And add into this, looking at the industry at the moment, the industry is changing and it's frightened of AI, but we also need to use it the other way around. How can it complement us? If we still have the human factor here, it's going to be a good place to be in. If we're looking at all the disruptors, I mean, the disruptors in themselves are, is there enough hands and feet to do the jobs? Let alone the heads. I mean, hands and feet are important, but you have to have the heads on top that know how these hands and feet work. So employment is one of the biggest problems we're going through at the moment. And this is where AI disrupts, adds value, but also takes it the other way. The disruptors right now are getting bigger. Unfortunately, the world is not stable. Taking away that, how are we going to get this to a stable world where we can actually work with each other, make it function, and use things wisely? I mean, at the moment, the disruption is the world is unsettled. So if we look at it politically, socially, there's unsettlement everywhere. It's how we use this wisely now and turn it from a disruption into actually a start of a new place to be, a new world to be in. A lot of the biggest challenges, when we start looking at the challenges, is it really a challenge or is it because we haven't done enough? A lot of this from our side is because we haven't done enough. Being an organization that looks after engineers, what do we do to get engineers? So let's start at the beginning of this. How do we get an engineer to be interested in doing what I do? Who's interested in working out how big a network has to be to make sure communications gets through? I was, but how did I get into that? So this is one of the areas we've got to try and get more people interested in these areas. It's going to be a difficult one. And this is how we can get this to function the other way around. The more people that are interested in this, and this is where I see IBC as a springboard for this. The more people we can get through interested in all of the aspects of broadcast. Let's face it, broadcast is pretty wide. It goes from how we get things onto the screen all the way to out of the screen. So it's a pretty wide area thinking about broadcast, but we're also looking at how broadcast is changing. The world is changing, so things have to be quicker. If something happens in America, 10 seconds later, everybody knows about it. The world has changed so quickly, you don't have time to think anymore. So this will be the next phase of this. How do we get things and communicated easily into bite-sized pieces? I mean, if we look at it, when the telephone was connected to the wall, we were free. Now it's not connected to a wall. It doesn't feel like you're ever free, really, does it? Until you throw everything away and stop communication. But this is the opposite of what IBC wants to do. We want communication. So things are happening so quickly in the world, these need to change. The skills shortage in the industry is going to get more and more because there's a lot of things being taken over in other areas. So the skills shortage is coming through areas are changing and getting easier. So computers are taking over a lot more, but you still need people there. And it's getting the interest of this whole industry to be there. I know we're trying to get more engineers involved, interested. But again, engineers is not enough. We also need it wider. So when do we start? My kids look at me, and believe it or not, I've got a 5-year-old and a 22-year-old. They're looking at me going, okay, I want to be like Dad, but I don't want to be like him because I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So the new generations that come in, they know what they want. How do we get this to be acceptable in the industry we have now, and how it starts progressing? Because with computers coming in, it's going to make it easier for us to get this to work and also take some of the mundane tasks away. I mean, who wants to remove silences from podcasts? Something I just did an hour ago. To sit and remove all the pieces where someone goes, I had to do it myself. This will start changing. So we can get rid of the mundane things, but it's also getting people interested. What's so exciting about this? That's going to be the hard part. And this is what we need to start changing and transforming, making this industry really interesting for everyone, not just actors and being on the big screen. Well, the SCTE, again, engineering organization, we're looking at the engineering side of this. What can we use? We hold 3 to 4 lectures a year. So we're also looking for speakers, how we can get people to come up, present this industry, make it interesting. And again, not this, we're going to sit and listen to a lecture. This is all about boring facts. We can get past this now. So we're looking for interesting speakers actually to get into this. We've also got a lecture planned on the Monday, which will be about AI and how it complements and can probably disrupt us as well. So that's what we're looking forward to. We're going to be there all of the 4 days in the partners area. So we're looking forward to it.